This episode is sponsored by Monkey Stuff. Monkey Stuff makes things for makers. We're inspired every day by the craft and creativity of makers, and design and manufacture tools and accessories to try to make your making life a bit more delightful. Our products are designed in California, by makers and for makers, and manufactured in the USA. Check out our line of pottery accessories and tools at monkeystuff.com. Follow us on Instagram to see what we're up to in our studios, and keep on making great things.
Hey, this is Erin with Cornell Studio Supply, located in the gem city of Dayton, Ohio. As a proud sponsor of this episode, we are happy to celebrate 50 years of providing the best customer service and world-class workshops. Join us at NCECA for lots of deals at booth 607. Enter to win our gift certificate giveaway and meet template guru Jen Allen and rib master Troy Bungart. Visit CornellStudioSupply.com for all your pottery and ceramic sculpture needs. At Cornell Studio Supply, we are owned and operated for potters, by potters.
Hello, my name is Kathy King, and welcome to the For Flux Sake podcast. I'm coming to you from the Harvard Ceramics program in our fair city, Allston, Massachusetts. I'm here with Rose and Matt Katz of the world-famous Ceramic Materials Workshop, and they are ready to answer your burning questions about clay and glaze. Well, hello, Matt and Rose.
Are we recording? Sorry.
Oh, for God's sakes. Okay.
Did it say recording?
Oh, there it does say recording. Sorry.
It
Okay.
does.
Sorry. Start again.
He gets all the gems from before we start this thing. Okay. Now
after 125 episodes, it's still confusing.
You got one job, Carter. You got one job. as if you did only have one job, that'd be great.
The rest of us have one job.
I know, right?
We just got to show up and be
to
stupid.
Sit here and talk. He's the one doing all the work. Oh my goodness! All right, y'all. So I'm saying that we're officially on. So, hi.
Hello,
hi there.
Hi.
Kathy.
Welcome to the awkward mid-show as Matt screws up Kathy's intro.
Oh, my goodness. So what's going on? What's happening? What's happening in your world?
We're exhausted.
What's
That's why
going on? Yeah.
Why? Why are you exhausted?
we have been working on something that we are excited that is going to be launching soon. And we figure we might as well tell everybody about it. Which is that we are now putting out another ebook this year.
Cool.
And it's going to be amazing. Because we have, much like our last ebook, Test 7,500
which
glazes,
is
which is still available.
Extensive.
It is.
Literally 7,500 glaze tests. This one's not that big. But what we have done is that we have tested every single stain available by Mason. And we are going to share that testing with all of you. We have tested every stain. We test them in different percentages. We test them in oxidation and reduction. And we tested them at cone 6 and at cone 10. So that you can see what these stains really do, what they look like in real life.
Yeah, that's kind of wackadoodle to think about the fact that no one's done that before.
Nope. And in fact, what's even crazier is that if you look at the stain supplier, they just show a color swatch on their website, not the actual stain. This is the actual stains.
Yeah, at different percentages too, which is big because it can change so much from lower stain loading to higher. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's very colorful, very cinematic.
All the colors.
Yeah.
So when can we get our grubby little hands on this?
Sign up for our mailing list at ceramicmaterialsworkshop.com and you will know as soon as it comes out. But we are prepping it now. It's almost done and we love it.
Been working on this forever.
This has been another long one because it is not 7,500 glaze tests, but it is thousands of glaze tests to get all of those variables. Oh, different thicknesses. I didn't even say we test them at different thicknesses too.
Oh
so
my
we really
goodness.
see all of the possibilities that every stain has. And so, we also will dispel some of those myths, like stains burning out, because our stains, nothing burned out. There are things that happen. We have low percentages and high percentages, and some stains definitely go weird, and we document all of that.
Certainly some weird ones in there.
Ooh. I don't know. We're not going to have time for that here, but maybe like on our Patreon, we could talk about some of the weirder ones. I want to hear
absolutely.
The background stories from this endeavor. You guys are really good at keeping secrets. I thought you two actually had free time in your lives, but apparently not.
No, we're always researching something.
Well, I am psyched for that.
And we live in the woods where nobody comes. So, we can keep secrets. So
that is true. You still have the sheep across the street?
Yes, still the sheep. Yeah, they're 25 heads of sheep now. Yeah.
Whoa.
But and our real secret is that we've got our magical elves. We do have assistants in the studio. Shout out.
Yes, which they're amazing and great. So thank you so much.
And
Julia
they help get all of our testing. They get most of the testing done. We write the recipes, but it's a huge project, and it's going to be so cool because it's one of those things where you just go and you look at the color swatch and you don't really know what it is. Here it is, what it is in living color.
Yeah.
Wow. Good for you all. Oakley dokley. All right, let's get to our questions. And the first one is a doozy. I cannot wait to see what comes up from this one. So, the wonderful Perkita from Finland wrote in and asked, hello, I was wondering if there was a vegan alternative for shellac when making slip casting molds. So that's it. And I have so many questions on top of that.
Oh, what are you using shellac for?
I know. I don't know.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, like to seal a porous object. So let's say you're, because we do a lot of work with people who are 3D printing objects to do molds off of. But I don't remember anybody using shellac. That's kind of old. We don't really even have it for that, because shellac works so awesome for like painting on like leather hard clay and then wiping away the excess and all that. But it's a little too. But anyway, I didn't know how shellac was made. And
I didn't either until
I'm
recently.
not quite sure. What I found was that shellac is a resin secreted by the lac insect to form a cocoon, much like a silkworm, and it takes 100,000 lac bugs to make a pound of shellac. Now, are we killing the lac bugs? Are we hurting them? Are they okay?
That's the conventional wisdom that I've always heard, which is why it's the vegan alternative.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's true.
Well, she's asking if there is a vegan alternative. I mean, shellac is taking the larva because the lac bugs are secreting stuff to feed their young. And basically, they take that and squeeze it, kill.
Yeah, to add insult to injury, it's only the female lac bugs, of course.
They don't want the males
doing all the work.
Wow.
How does the lac bug reproduce? I mean, come on.
Oh, no.
I think it might be, and this is where where I think where we fail is it may be just more of the veganism concept of just not wanting to use animal product.
Yes.
And I'm wondering whether that is a condition, because I know, again, everybody's got their own philosophical point on it, but I think for some people that just any animal derived product is unacceptable. Obviously, if there's mortality involved, that is straight out for a vegan.
Yeah.
The practical part, though, in fact, we should even say for people who don't know, that really what it can be used for is that when you're making slip casting molds, usually they're in two pieces, right? Because if you have an undercut, you have to have two pieces. And you pour one piece of plaster and then you flip it over and then you pour a new piece of plaster that meets up with the first piece of plaster. And if you don't put a barrier layer in there, they will stick together. And so you have to put a barrier layer in between those two plasters or they'll join together.
You wouldn't use like a mold release, or you use shellac?
But that's what I'm saying. I think she doesn't know about mold release. Right. Mm-hmm. Is that here in the States, in my whole career, we've used a product called Murphy's Oil Soap. And Murphy's oil soap it fills the pores of the plaster so the two don't bond together. And oftentimes people will put Murphy's, and I think what Kathy was talking about, that they'll put it on the surface of the object that they're casting as well to create a barrier layer. And in my work, I've always just put the Murphy's on everything. And you put the Murphy's on and you dry it and you buff it, and so it doesn't leave any residue. But yeah, I think historically people use shellac for that. That's what I had always heard.
Oh, interesting.
The problem is that being in Finland, I don't know what the Finnish alternative of Murphy's oil soap is, because that may just be a North American product. But what is the sales pitch for Murphy's? I think that they use it as a wood cleaning wax.
Yeah, wood cleaner, but all-purpose wood cleaner, so floors or furniture or whatnot. But I mean, there's got to be. I'm sure you can get mold release too, a commercial. I'm trying to think of, we use Murphy's oil soap as well. So I'm trying to think of which mold release we use.
Ceramic supply stores will sell a mold release. And honestly, don't just look at ceramic supply, because so many fields use molds, and they'll have mold release too.
Silicone companies use it all the time.
I mean, actually, that's a good thought. You probably could just use a silicone spray at this point.
Yeah,
I would not be shocked if that would work. Because you're just trying to create a barrier layer from keeping the pieces of plaster and the object sticking to each other, so it all comes apart easily. So I would not. Yeah, I mean, you don't even need shellac. And as far as I know, Murphy's oil soap, I think the oil is just an emulsified oil in it, and it just creates that barrier layer. And the good thing about Murphy's is that it washes away. Like once you wash the thing, it just, because it's a soap,
it says Murphy's oil soap's made with water, coconut, and plant-derived ingredients, so it's biodegradable and gentle.
There you go. Perfect.
So now that I know about this, everybody save the lady lac bug. Don't use shellac, for God's sakes. Listen to their 100,000 screams.
Oh, God.
So I recently inherited a chair that I was going to refinish, but I went a different route, because I was looking, I was like, oh, I should, look at shellac or, now I just lost the, my word usage.
A lacquer?
Thanks, Age. A polyurethane. And so I was looking at it, I was like, oh, well, it's an older chair, it's probably got shellac. I wonder if I should do it as a shellac. And like all the research, I watched videos on woodworking and how to refinish this chair, and nobody mentioned shellac. It was interesting.
Once, really? Yeah.
Antiquated.
Yeah, I think so. They mentioned using furniture oil or polyurethane or stain, but not shellac at all.
Well, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Now that we know.
Poor little lac bugs. I'm all sad.
Good old lac bugs. All right. Our next question. This is a lot of text questions, people. I'm exhausted already, so make sure to send us those voice
You guys, Kathy made a New Year's resolution to finally master reading, and she's getting there.
Oh,
she's getting there.
Hooked on phonics. That's me. Okay, so our next question comes from Naya, who's writing to us from Maine. And Naya asks, or lets us know, I am learning to work with our local clay in Maine, Presumscot Formation Marine Clay. It's a terracotta. And a much more experienced local potter told me that it vitrifies to cone 1. Is the water absorption test the best test to see if it actually vitrifies at cone 1? And can the iron content of the clay impact what glazes best fit it? I have been testing clear glazes, and it's been interesting at a low fire range. Goodness gracious.
Hey, good job talking about the clay formation, because I don't think a lot of people would know how to pronounce pronounce that.
It is you have to do the absorption test.
Yeah.
It really is the only thing to cut to that part of vitrification. Are there better ways to identify whether or not you have formed the glass appropriately? Yeah, but vitrification is the simplest, most straightforward test.
And we can do in our studios.
Yeah.
Pretty easily.
And we have a YouTube video starring Rose on how to do your own absorption tests.
Ooh, super
I
handy.
know.
Very
So
nice.
find our YouTube channel, and you can find that video there. But yeah, you absolutely do need to do the absorption test. And of course, the context that we have to put in, vitrified means it has less than 0.5% absorption. And so that is a question. And Naya, I highly doubt that clay is going to vitrify at cone 1. I'm not saying it won't, but cone 1 that's pretty cold for getting anything to vitrify, no matter how much iron it has in it. We could talk about the iron here in a second, but cone 1, that's cold. Cone 4, right? Cone 4 is actually pretty common for vitrification of red bodies. That definitely could vitrify by then. And you see that all the time with potters, like our trusty Ben here, who work in low fire, who will tend to bisque hotter, right, to try to get more vitrification. That's generally the goal when low fire potters bisque hotter, right, Ben?
Yep, tighten it up. And as long as you can get your glaze to stick, you therefore have a more vitrified body on a glazed ware at low fire.
Yeah, for the glazes, so that you can still glaze at a cone 04 or anything like that. So yeah, you just run an absorption test. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. And definitely, so the second part is, does the iron content impact the clay body as a whole? Absolutely. That clay body is probably relying on all of that iron to vitrify at all. There might be a little bit of residual sodium or some calcium or magnesium, but the iron is doing the heavy lifting as far as getting any melt in that body. And so, yeah, the more iron there is, the more it will melt, and the more melting it is, will then affect how vitrified it is, but it will also affect the glaze fit. And this is a really interesting point with this one as well, because it's also something that's really important for talking about everybody in your firing temperatures. Because one of the classic things you'll see with people when they're working at bodies at slightly colder temperatures, they'll say, oh, like this body totally crazed when I only fired it to cone 5, but then when I fired it to cone 6, it didn't craze. And the answer is because as you vitrify that body more, you're changing the thermal expansion of that body, because glass has a different thermal expansion than the raw materials. And so you will totally, yes, see different thermal expansion on some bodies, especially when they're underfired, because one of the tricks with underfired materials tend to have very high thermal expansion, and melted glassy materials tend to have lower thermal expansion. So the thermal expansion will tend to go down as you fire it hotter. So the same body can have different performance of the glazes by firing it at different temperatures. So, again, not to, that you can fire the body at whatever temperature you want to work at, but, as Ben says, you have to watch out for how dense it is and how you want to work with it. But then for the glaze temperature, just make sure to keep a consistent glaze temperature to keep a consistent fit, because that really could be a problem. I mean, what did I miss, Ben?
Yeah, I was just going to say that if you're looking for lots of low fire clears, I happen to have written a book that has quite a few of them in there. I hate to do a self-plug in this instance.
No, plug.
Do it, Ben. It's awesome.
The reason I'm plugging is because I literally searched for like 10 years for clear glazes for low fire. And there are quite a few that you have the option in that cone 1 range. And what you're shooting for is cone 1 to cone 2. Like if you're going to make earthenware pots, that cone 1, cone 2 is your friend. So check out the book. It's called The Complete Guide to Low Fire Glazes, and you can find it wherever you find books.
Listen, I give anybody who's using local clay credit. I mean, the amount of energy to take. I mean, I was taking I have some commercial mixed clay, and I was taking the 2 bags out of the box. I almost had a meltdown because I realized they no longer give you the twist tie to keep the bag closed. I mean, I was devastated. The idea of actually digging clay and preparing it and testing it. Good on you. Good on you.
My back ain't got time for that.
I know, right? Today's episode is brought to you by the Rosenfield Collection of Functional Ceramic Art. The collection exists as an online source for research and inspiration, featuring photos of thousands of objects made by over 800 artists. The images are high quality and can be used with no permission required. To find out more, visit www.rosenfieldcollection.com.
Glazes don't make sense, but that's why Rose and I are here at ceramicmaterialsworkshop.com, helping translate glazes for real ceramicists like you. So join us for our brand new class starting October 1st. It's for everyone from beginners to masters. We clear up all the mysteries of glazes to make them work for you. Join us at ceramicmaterialsworkshop.com for making glazes make sense.
So we're going to just blow everybody's mind. We are going to do a third quick question. Yes, we are doing it. It's like having Matt on vacation again. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
No,
right in the
you-
side.
I'll just be quiet
right
now.
in the side.
All right.
And it's my birthday.
I know.
Guys.
I know. I instantly felt terrible, but then I got over it.
No.
So our next question is from Katya from Surrey, UK. And Katya wrote, they've seen, I guess this is describing what they're talking about. A listener has two questions. They've seen people pack bisque kilns by stacking flat plates vertically to improve air circulation and prevent warping. Does that really work? And second, they've had flat bottom serving dishes crack in bisque and glaze and wonder if uneven heat is the culprit, and whether stilts or clay balls could help without causing warping. Ooh, there's a lot there. I mean, on the first part, the person I think of the first time I saw Lisa Orr, amazing low fire potter, what her kiln like. I mean, everything. It's just like Jenga. It is crazy, but the pieces come out awesome.
Well, we don't make pots. That's why I wanted to ask this question, because what do you guys do? I mean, I have seen the edge plate bisque loading.
Yeah, I've
I
seen
don't
that a
make
lot.
plates, so I don't know. What's the thinking? What do people tell you? What have you done?
I'm too scared. So Ben, you take this one. Yeah. I'm too scared to do anything like that. Yeah.
No, I'm the same way. So if you are bisquing your plates vertically, it does make sense. Like this is fine. The thing is though, you can't be ham-handed when you load the kiln, which I am. So when I'm loading the kiln, I often will bump into things. And if you're putting your plate vertically, you have to set it usually against a brick. So a full-on fire brick. Set one plate against one side, the other plate against the other side. So you're almost making like a teepee of plates, and then you just keep adding on from there. That is the Lisa Orr method, as Kathy mentioned. But I too am scared. So even though I know that's a possibility, I do rim to rim, foot to foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you
Little
probably did that
ball
when you were doing
balls.
production, Rose. I would
Yep.
imagine.
So what is the logic of a vertical rim stack? Because it just seems like dominoes to
Just
me.
to
But
get
why?
more stuff in the kiln. I mean, I think
Yeah.
that's as far as it goes.
Because it's what afraid to stack too many green plates a certain height.
Well, I think
Is
it's
that-
reducing surface area. So if you're stacking on the rim, when everything is compacting, it's just up in the air shrinking, as to where if you're stacking horizontally, it's dragging across your kiln shelf, which depending on what's happening, some people think that causes the cracking in the clay. I actually don't think that always causes the cracking, but I think that's the belief.
Interesting.
I
Yeah, because
mean,
I wanted to say the
that's-
second part, but go ahead.
Yeah, that's the second part. I mean, with large flat bottom, I mean, I usually put a foot ring, but if with flat bottom large things, I definitely treat it like a tile, and I'll use grog, like a layer of fine grog underneath the piece, just to act like little ball bearings and let the clay roll along as it shrinks. And that seems to help a lot.
But you don't stack anything, Kathy. Everything's in
I
one.
do not.
Because you've got
I'm
all
chicken.
drawings on faces. Well, but you have like something precious on the faces that you can't mar.
Yeah. And I'm slow as hell. I mean, if I had that much work that I had to pack it like Lisa Orr, I would be in a whole different, I wouldn't be here with you people. I'd be off in the Bahamas, counting my money.
And but for Ben, you'll do lip to lip. How high will you stack that?
With plates, just two.
Just one plate on the bottom, one plate on the lip over it.
Yep. But you could do more. When I was a stoneware potter way back in the day, when we would bisque, we would just keep on stacking. I don't know how many, probably 3 or 4 would be the most we would do it with a plate. With a bowl, more curve, more support. But the reason you can do this in the bisque stage, obviously, is that the clay is not pyroclastic. What makes Lisa Orr's amazing is she fires her glaze kiln like that. Now, granted, it's earthenware, so it's also
Just low
not
temperature.
pyroclastic, but you would not want to like try to fire a cone 6 plate. Well, actually, cone 6 is a bad example because that clay is probably not vitrified either. You wouldn't want to fire a cone 10 like that because it would start warping as the clay tightened
E2,
up.
Ben. E2.
Oh man, now
I'm on
We
my
are close to
island
the Ides
all
of March.
alone now. All right. That's fine. That's fine. Oh my goodness.
it's
All right.
interesting because I mean I've never quite understood it. I have always sort of thought that it was just a volume calculation of just trying to get, because you don't want to, people tend to be afraid of stacking plates only so high. I've heard some
Well,
people
too,
say
I
that,
think it's a matter of I don't have enough kiln shelves too.
Mhm.
yeah,
Oh
Like,
yeah, totally.
to like put a plate all by itself on a kiln shelf and you just boom, 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 boom. So I think it's a matter of that too.
Very good. Yeah, good point. Especially when you have a smaller kiln and
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You don't want to eat it all up with shelving.
yeah. And so then part B, right? So you both fire flat, and do you think Kathy already said she uses kiln lubricant.
Grog. Okay.
I prefer kiln lubricant. I
That
think I'll go
felt
with that.
weird, but okay.
Feel a little weird. A little weird.
And
Don't push that
Ben,
one anymore.
Ben, you expressed skepticism about cracking theory for the sort of concept that it's the feet are dragging, or what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, I think firing on grog does make sense. And in extreme examples that hand builders I've seen will fire on a shrink slab so that way there is a full-on extra slab of clay below.
Mhm.
Then the piece and the shrink slab are shrinking together. But I actually think the way I've seen people's plates crack the most is just, I'm trying to think of a polite way to say it, user error when they're throwing. Like that they're throwing and not compressing the bottom interior surface, aka not doing it well. So if you compress with a rib and you trim, I've found that trimming is also compression. Like you're removing, but you're also scraping across, so you're compressing. And then of course, do not leave water in the bottom of any pot, but especially not a plate, because that is just going to weasel its way down and come up as a crack later.
That is definitely true. I mean, we can talk about my theories on cracks in a bit, but yeah, that is user error. I already offend everybody. I don't care. So yeah, like y'all are screwing up.
Right.
Well, and
Just rip the band-aid off. Just go.
Right. It is the biggest problem in ceramics is that we are all human. We are all imperfect creatures, and we all swear that we did everything the right way. Let's be clear, you probably didn't do it the right way. I mean, that is just the reality of the situation, that there are flaws in the ways that we do these things. And that often is the case. And the one I really want to make sure, as both Ben and Kathy have public studios and they have to be nicer than I have to be, is stop blaming your studio techs for your pots breaking. And everybody listening, stop making the excuse of this pot was just fine in the bisque and then something went wrong in the glaze. No. So Ben was talking about pyroplastics. That is how materials soften when they get hot. When you are vitrifying, you are sending your clay through a massive physical and chemical change. When the flaws will come to the surface in the bisque, you're not doing squat physically. It is the same when you are bisquing, you're going through a process called sintering, where you're effectively gluing all the particles together, but nothing is changing. You are not conducing any chemical reactions. That's why we bisque to the temperature we bisque to, is because it's right up to the point before vitrification. Well, all you're doing is sintering. So yeah, you are commonly never going to see flaws in the bisque. So you don't get any shrinkage in the bisque. Your shrinkage in bisque is somewhere between 0 and 1%. Right, from the greenware, because it's not going through these physical changes. And so, yeah, those flaws that you see, they're occurring because you probably did it wrong. Now, that said, I will also throw out there that a lot of bad clay body mixing is a problem, right? That clays often don't come homogenized, and that can create major issues. A lot of compositional issues. A lot of clay body compositions are not maximized for their particle packing. One of the craziest things we do in our class on clay bodies is you can watch, we'll have people test different compositions of the same clays, and you will easily get cracking with one composition and get no cracking with another one, because we're changing the particle packing of the same raw materials. Makes a huge difference. And so we assume the clays are going to have the great composition. They may not. But unevenness. And Katya said the word of, is uneven heat a culprit? Man, my number one thing in ceramics for the cause of flaws is unevenness. Okay. Ceramics fail because of unevenness. They cannot take stress. Okay. And so you threw it unevenly, you built it unevenly, you dried it unevenly, like Ben is saying, leaving water at the bottom. But it's the same thing of like letting the pot sit out and the rim dries, but the well is still wet. Like, oh my gosh, that is like crisis level tragedy for your pots. All of that kind of unevenness can absolutely cause all of those failures. And like, that's a huge, huge deal. And anytime you create stress, cracks are going to be the relieving of stress. That's what a crack is. You had stress going in multiple directions, and it fails because it can no longer take the stress. And so all of those levels of unevenness. Is it just that it's flat bottomed? I mean, like, flat bottom plates are super popular now. I've seen plenty of flat bottom plates that survive. I've seen them thrown. Yeah. I've seen them slip cast. I've seen them ram pressed. Like that's fine. Is what Kathy's talking about using her kiln lubricant. I'm going to keep pushing it.
Oh my God, stop. That's going on the list with the slacks, the hard pans.
Yeah, I mean, putting down a bottom layer that helps you prevent anything from sticking so it can move, lubricate. It could help, but I don't think it's a major benefit. You all have dirty minds. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, she did mention little balls. I mean, do we need to talk about those too?
Oh, like wadding?
Yeah.
I think I've never had to use those.
No, you've never used them?
Mm-mm.
Have you ever done an atmospheric firing, Kathy?
Oh yeah. No. I thought we were talking about
normal
lower firing ranges. But yes,
I mean, they seem excessive when you're just doing a basic firing. Like, yeah, if you're doing atmospheric, that's a different thing. But if it seems like a lot of work for.
And sand is so cheap that just a layer of sand, playground sand, just like regular old $5 a bag playground sand on your kiln shelf.
I was going to say, Ben, that when you mentioned the shrink slab, that is actually something that I found over the years, because I was using the grog or sand, and then I also needed it because I was working with very big tiles, and I also needed it during the glaze. And that's when those little buggers would pop up like popcorn in the kiln, and I would end up getting like little bits in the glaze area. So the shrink slab definitely, got rid of that problem and worked very well.
Yeah, that seems easier to do than wadding.
Yeah, wadding's a bit much, but even if you're putting down a powder, whether it's a bed of sand or alumina or grog or anything like that, you also have to clean that up, which sucks.
Yeah, clean alumina powder. It's not fun.
Vacuum. All right. Well,
Kathy cutting straight to the answer.
That's right. Well, before we go, I want to remind everybody that we are going to be at NCECA, and it's actually the National Clay Education Conference. It is celebrating its 60th anniversary. It's taking place in Detroit, Michigan, March 25th to the 28th. And you can either come over to the Harvard Ceramics booth and say howdy, or see Matt and Rose, and you guys talk about what you got going on.
Yeah,
got a CMW booth.
Yeah. 509, baby. Find us.
Yep. So we are going to be announcing something big, but we're not announcing it now. We'll announce it at NCECA, but we will be there. You can come and see us in real life, and you can, we got some merch. We'll have all of our merch. So come and get your For Flux Sake merch or your CMW merch. And we're going to try to have a hotline so you can submit your questions from the floor of NCECA.
Yay. That'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast. So hope to see you all there. So until we see each other in Detroit, y'all. Bye-bye.
See you in Detroit.
See ya.
Well, folks, that's it for this week's episode of For Flux Sake. I'd like to thank the listeners who submitted questions this week. And if you want your question answered on the show, shoot us an email at forfluxsakepodcast@gmail.com. So join us next time, and when in your studio, remember what Rose always says.
Always remember to test, test, test. This is a test of the emergency glaze system. Beep.
Hi, everyone. If you've been leaning into our glaze deep dives to troubleshoot your studio struggles or just geek out over oxide ratios, we'd love to invite you to join us over on our Patreon.
Think of it as the flux that helps our creative process flow a little more smoothly.
Producing for Flux Sake takes a lot of behind-the-scenes chemistry, from research time to tech costs. By becoming a Patreon member, you're directly helping us keep the show independent and technical.
By supporting us at the $5 a month tier, you get access to our Patreon Flux U bonus episodes, archived for Flux Sake Season 1 and Season 2. And you get priority submission for your questions from the team to answer in future episodes. Oh, and along with exclusive for Flux Sake merch.
We know how quickly the cost of cobalt adds up, so we've kept our tiers accessible. Every bit of support means we can spend more time answering your questions and less time worrying about the business side of things.
So check out our link on our show notes or visit patreon.com and keep the conversation and the kilns firing.